What's up, y'all? This is Kelly Music here at the African American Cultural Arts Center. This is JR. We are doing Black Media Arts Awards.
That's what we're doing.
Yes.
Right here today, Fillmore, San Francisco Bayview. I'm the editor-in-chief. Here with Kel the Music. She the truth, so we had to bring her in.
Appreciate. Yes. Love it, love it, love it. All right.
To all our ancestors of the Congo, Great Zimbabwe, of Yoruba land, of Igbo land, of Hausa land, of Fulani land, all of our ancestors on whose shoulders we stand, to all those ancestors who paved the way for civilization and those who made it possible for us to be here in this nation. Y'all know what to say. Ashe.
Rose B. Smith.
Ashe.
Gladys Jones.
Ashe.
Charles Coleman.
Ashe. All that we don't know, all whose positive energy has allowed us to blossom, develop, and grow. As today is a special day in Africa, in Yoruba land, in what is now Nigeria, Togo, Benin. Today is actually Yoruba New Year. So on our ancient African calendar, we're in the year 10,344, I believe today is. And so we just welcome new energy. We give thanks for the spirit of water that comes from heaven. It makes its mark on this earth. May we be like water. May we always make a positive mark on our community. Ashe?
Ashe.
And with that, I welcome you to Black Media Awards 2023. Ashe.
To help present the first award of the night, I'd like to call up Kevin Epps, who is a Hunter's Baby.
He's also, I don't want to put him in a box and say he's a filmmaker because he's an all-around creative genius. Go-to guy around technical stuff and streaming, I call Will Hammond. Because I know Will is solid and right
there.
It's like my big brother, man. You know what I'm saying? And I want to give this award to you, brother, for your tremendous work. And
I have a lot of love for this brother. I've known him for quite some time, and I really appreciate him honoring me at this time, and along with the New World Media. The most important thing we can do is spread love amongst ourselves and use this media to tell the stories about us that we really want people to know. Everybody else makes up a lot of other stuff, but it's up to us to tell the stories. Programming is not what's coming on TV tonight, it's what they're doing to you. Until you understand that, until we turn that around so that we can present the information and knowledge that we have to get to our young people, our children, nothing's going to change. We can't expect them to do anything but what they're already doing. It's up to us, the black media, to carry out the message that we need to get to our people. So just support this black media wherever, whenever, wherever, always. Send love to the black media because we got love for you. Thank you so much.
To help me present this award, Davey D is a radio host and DJ.
Yeah. First, I think we definitely need to take account that we're having these Black Media Awards, considering what's going on around the country, where our narratives are being erased, classroom and curriculum being removed, and revisionist history is coming up. They're trying to act like we never did anything. And when we talk about the things we do, it's considered a threat. It's something that needs to be outlawed. So we definitely have to take hold of the institutions that we own. And, in this case, it's the SF Bayview, and uplift it and make sure that it's fortified and ready to take on the challenges that come before us. I do a show called Hard Knock Radio, and I get a lot of credit and a lot of props for it. But anybody who's in media will know that it's not a one-person show. There's usually a team that you roll with it. And on my team is the next recipient. Her name is Anita Johnson. Now, I know Anita, let me give it up for her. I go back with Anita, it looks like almost 30 years. And I've been telling people I'm 25, so, you know, I gotta suspend that for a minute. But she started out at youth radio and then came on to the show that I was doing on KBL as an intern and a contributor. 30 years later, you know, she's the one that puts the shows together. She's the one that books the guests. She's the one that goes into the station and deals with the politics, which are often toxic. So she got scars on her back. She's the one that deals with the everyday heavy weightlifting that can take a toll on people. So that's extremely important that we recognize that. A lot of times those type of individuals are unsung and we don't often know the sacrifices and the things that they entail. Professionally, I'll tell you just a few things and we'll bring her up. She contributed to NPR's Morning Edition for a number of years. She was a contributor to Street Knowledge, which was the show I did on KBL. She was the senior producer for a CD project called 175 Progress Drive, which brought attention to the case of Mumia Abu-Jamal. And she was, as well as George Jackson and Attica and Black Liberation. She helped co-found Hard Knock Radio, so we give it up for her on that. She was awarded the AIR's Public Radio Makers Quest 2.0. She was the assistant to the Association of Independence Art and projects created to illuminate the impact of HIV and AIDS. And in 2010, she co-produced the documentary film COINTELPRO. She's also a damn good MC and somebody who has my back when we are, you know, dealing with this radio station and this radio show. So without further ado, let's give it up for Anita Johnson. She's
I want to thank my cohort in radio, journalist David D. I'll keep it short and sweet. The Black New World Media. I want to thank SF Baby. I want to thank JR. I want to thank the people, my family and friends who support me throughout the years. And the ones who, like my best friend is here. At times, you know, things get really hard and daunting. We deal with news every day and not always the best part of it, right, of life. So those people that support me during those hard times and difficult times. Last year, I've mentioned this on the air, I lost both my mother and my father. Back to back, literally buried my mother. The next day I had a phone call that my dad had passed away as well. So moving from that into this and being honored is a blessing. I know my family, my ancestors are here, you know what I'm saying? Supporting Black people, you know, supporting Black people in the work that we do that many times goes unnoticed and unrecognized. So I want to thank everybody that's here, and again, I want to say I appreciate the support. Thank you so much.
I have the honor of introducing our next awardee. Rashid Shabazz has been a mentor and someone I consider my family for over a decade. We first met in college, organizing on different campuses with the African Black Coalition. He was one of the first who showed me how journalism can play a role in movement organizing, in social justice work, and helping to educate the masses. He is now working as the co-director of Oakland Voices, and he is the instructor for the community journalism class, teaching others how to do exactly what he does. He's also the person that I know all of my information about the history of the city of Alameda, and one of the only Black folks I know who was raised in the city of Alameda. So please welcome Rashid Shabazz, our third awardee. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon or good evening. Thank you so much for this award. Alhamdulillah. Shout out to my mama, arts editor for the California Voice. So, you know, get it from my mama. And I'm really grateful for the Bayview, one of the first publications I got to put my byline in, 2006. And so I'm grateful for that experience and that platform being there. Just keeping it real brief, my shero, Ida B. Wells, said, the people must know before they can act, and there's no educator like the press. And so I'm just encourage folks to continue to press on. Black press is a sword and a shield, so keep protecting the people and keep chopping these devil's horns off. Thank you.
Okay, we're now going to take a really short break from awards, and we're going to hear from some amazing community leaders and speakers. The first I'd like to bring out is the grandson of the famous political prisoner. So I was just at the See the Time exhibit in Oakland. Anybody went to see it at the Oakland Museum? Nobody? Okay, it closes on June 11th, but it's about Angela Davis. And a lot of it's around the Free Angela movement when she was incarcerated for around 16 months, wrongfully. And there had to be a whole international movement that brought attention to her case. Well, we're still in one of those moments, and it's not Free Angela, but people have been saying Free Mumia. Free Mumia Abu Jamal. He has been a political prisoner for several years. He's a prolific writer. He is a Black Panther and a political prisoner that is in prison for the organizing and the work and the education that he was doing and that he continues to do inside. So please help me give a warm welcome to his grandson, Jamal Hart Jr.
How's everybody doing today?
All right.
Everybody feeling all right?
Yes.
We all got jobs to do. And as journalists, your job is to tell the truth, right? We tell what's real because journalists' job is to inform the public. A Black journalist's job is not only to tell the truth, but to also defend the people in a world where they're invested in telling lies about us, right? I'm here today because my grandfather can't be. Mumia Abu Jamal, Black journalist. In a time where people were being persecuted, assaulted, harassed for telling the truth. Mumia, because he had integrity, kept telling the truth. He tells me all the time that he lost a lot of jobs, right? Because he just couldn't be a company man and do what they told him, right? Because he felt like if he let his morals down, he let y'all down. He let the people down. Mumia Abu Jamal is in jail today because he refused to give up on telling the truth. Malcolm X says, when we turn I into we, even illness becomes wellness. It's not just you out here. And this is why you tell the truth, right? Because it's not just you. This is why you tell the truth and you keep integrity, because it's not just you, right? It's not just you. When somebody offers you something, it's not just you, because you're taking it to betray everybody else, right? And I'm sorry to be getting all heavy. I know this is a celebration. But there's a reason why we have to have these celebrations. There's a reason why we have to honor your achievements while you're doing them, because it's hard. Every single day is hard. None of it's perfect, but that's what makes us beautiful, right? I said none of us is perfect, but that's what makes us beautiful. We're going to talk about integrity for a second. And I say that a lot every time I get up on the podium, because like people forget, like we're in a generation where people are trading integrity for money. Like for real, they're trading integrity for money. That's how bad capitalism got people. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep moving, keep advancing the culture forward. But do so knowing that every decision that you make has to be done with integrity. And I know it's hard. Like, again, none of us is perfect. But being a journalist, that is the boulder that you carry on your back. That is the weight of being a journalist, of being a respectable journalist. Because you're not just reporting for you and your people, you report for anybody that reads or hears your story. Integrity. Say that word. Integrity. Integrity. Whenever you're producing something, think about integrity. Because Mumia Abu Jamal in the bowels of prison, he kept his integrity. He speaks up for everybody. He never even speaks up for himself because he has that integrity. 40 plus years in prison. We all got jobs to do. And I think, judging by the collection of people that we have here, we're going to do a good job. And we're going to move forward with integrity. None of us is perfect. You have your flaws. You have your bonuses. But it's up to you, each person that's next to you, behind you, in front of you, to hold you up, make you shine, and remind you of your integrity. Much love to you all. You have a good one.
For all of us. Speaking of integrity, I want to talk a little about justice with compassion. Justice done right. We actually have elected district attorneys in the state of California. Each county elects their own. There are 3 Black women out of the 58 elected DAs in our state. All 3 of them are in the Bay Area, San Francisco, Alameda, and Contra Costa. We are very blessed and honored to have newly elected Alameda County District Attorney, Pamela Price, who is going to share some remarks with us. Please welcome DA Price to the stage.
I am the first non-anointed 100 years in Alameda County. And every day I know when I go to work, everything I do is historic. And it's a joy in that sense to get to be a Black woman in that situation. As Elisa has shared, there are 3 Black women out of 58 district attorneys in the Bay Area, in California. But there are a number of us across the country. I'm part of a movement of progressive district attorneys that was in fact led by Black women like Kim Fox in Cook County, Chicago. And a number of sisters around the country. And we are under attack by the media, for the most part, and by those who are manipulating the media and using the media to make us out to be unfit, unqualified. But every day that I get to go to work, I get to be unapologetically Black. That brings me joy, and I appreciate the support of the Black media, the role of the Black media, because we see in the Bay Area that the media has a little bit of trouble dealing with the unapologetically Black woman. They got a few issues around that. But the Black media has been supportive before I was the district attorney, and I have supported the Black media. I love the Bayview, I love the Oakland Post. I think that it is so clear that Black media historically has been a foundation for the liberation of Black people. The brother quoted Ida B. Wells Barnett, who is also one of my sheroes, and often, for many years, I would say, what would Ida do? Because she would always know how to stand up for what was right, how to be courageous, and she was extremely courageous in the face of some terrible times. And those of us in this time, what we face is almost nothing compared to what our ancestors faced. I had the privilege of going to Montgomery, Alabama a couple of months ago and walking across the Edmund Pettus Bridge and sharing or listening to the story shared of how people marched for 10 days from Selma to Montgomery in March, and it was not warm, and there were snipers on the road, along the sides of the road, and the road wasn't paved in all the places. But they marched for 10 days for us to have the right to vote. They changed this country. And that is what I remember Reverend Jackson saying years ago. We live in a Martin Luther King Jr. democracy because it was black people and led by Dr. King in collaboration with other folks as well who changed this democracy and made it real. And so I stand here today as a product of that legacy, as a reflection and a beneficiary of the right to vote and of those who did vote in Alameda County for change. And so it's an honor to be here tonight to know that we have a black world, a new black world media that's going to continue to tell our stories. It's going to continue to move us forward, that is going to continue to walk and live and breathe and exist in the legacy of Ida B. Wells Barnett. So I thank you all for tonight, and I'm honored to be here. And I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing because I know that I'm here for a reason and that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And let me just say this, as you all know, the media, the mainstream media has been totally tripping out on the fact that a black woman is in charge in Alameda County. But everywhere I go, and it has been a blessing to know that the people are ready for the change. The people voted for the change, and the people support the change. And everywhere I go, people say, "Sister, I got you. We are praying for you. I'm in your prayer. You're in our prayer circle." And I cannot tell you all how that has strengthened me and will continue to gird me against the slings and the arrows of anything that comes forward, because I know that I am doing what is necessary for us to be free. Thank you.
Speaker, before we get back to our awardees, this is also another black woman who is serving in criminal justice and accountability. Michelle Phillips is the Inspector General for the City of Oakland. She heads the office, which is one of the newest. It is part of the Police Commission and the large structures of police oversight and accountability that Oakland has been working on and needed for a long time. So please welcome to the stage, Inspector General Phillips.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, y'all still woke, I appreciate it. I want to thank Alyssa for the very warm, amazing welcome. I want to thank all of you for coming out this evening. It's a lot going on in San Francisco and Oakland and the Bay Area, period, but you guys decided to be here with all of us. JR, I want to thank him tremendously. He is absolutely amazing and phenomenal. I've been here for 18 months, and he is the first journalist who hunted me down and kept on me and was like, "You're gonna sit down and you're gonna give me an interview," giving me a platform to let people know and to educate people about what the Office of the Inspector General does. So I want to take the time to just give him a round of applause for trying to make I appreciate you always. Thank you. I just want to say it's a pleasure to fellowship with all of you. With a lot of very impactful culture makers, innovators, and change agents tonight. We are not only celebrating our local black media and community, but honoring the life and legacy of Minister Emory Douglas. Can we give As Oakland's first Inspector General, make no mistake, I would not be standing here before you if it were not for the young, impactful trailblazers our heroes and sheroes. We're gonna call them the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense.
Come on.
Before there was any police commission, before there was any police oversight, before there was any civilian oversight, there was the party. Black men, Black women, dedicated to protecting their communities of Black people by any means necessary, even if, and oftentimes, when it was going toe-to-toe with law enforcement, including the police departments. What the Panthers understood that many of us have yet to understand and figure out in America today, since its inception, it's suffering from an identity crisis. In the land of the free, nearly 2 million people go to sleep behind bars. Our tired, our poor, our hungry, huddled masses are left to suffocate on the streets of Oakland and all over urban cities throughout the United States and beyond. And those entrusted to protect and serve are often the brokers of the violence. Simply put, our communities are under attack. It is our responsibility to ensure that we utilize the weapons that we have, and I'm not talking about guns, I'm talking about Black media, I'm talking about our voices, in order to do what we need to do to move forward in the appropriate fashion. Jamal said that we have to do it with integrity. That is one of the pillars and goals of the Office of the Inspector General. To be fair, to be firm, to be impartial, and to ensure that what we do is with integrity, so that we are above board always. In the Office of the Inspector General, this means carrying the baton of police oversight and accountability. As a leader of a nonprofit, that may mean providing services and resources to those in need. As our next Congresswoman for California's 12th District, this means continuing to be the courageous fighter as all of us know and love. For those in the media, it is to hold a clean mirror to those of us in positions of power. Not only for us to see ourselves, but for the collective to have a clear view and understanding of who we are and what we stand for. Media has always and continues to play a critical role in advancing us to become a more honest and understandable nation full of integrity and accountability. I cannot imagine where we would be in police reform today if not for the footage of Rodney King. That's right. The footage of George Rand, Tamar Rice, Sandra Tate, Eric Gardner, Michael Brown, Freddie Gray, and many, many others. Honestly, way too many to name. With the activists and the journalists brave enough to tell those stories unapologetically, we do appreciate you. For everybody being honored tonight, we appreciate you. For everybody staying in this audience, holding everybody accountable, including myself, I appreciate you. Therefore, many thanks to the San Francisco Bayview newspaper for inviting me to share a few remarks, and I hope that you all have an incredible evening. Again, I want to thank you. I am the Inspector General for the City of Oakland, the very first Inspector General. I thank y'all so much. I appreciate you.